Namaste, and welcome to the new Soul Horoscope SUPERscope. My name is Christopher Rayman Witecki. I'm a modern mystic and a soul biographer. I'm here to help you put the pieces of your soul story together. And this is a SUPERscope for Geminis and Gemini risings, if you don't know. And the Geminis are the ambassadors of the state. They are step 5. Step 5 is I'm alive, and step 5 is I think. And when I say step, this is a new direction I'm taking. I'm stepping into a new astrology. This is something I've been working on for probably 20 years, actually. My 20 years of astrology has come down to this. I think that each of the 12 signs is one of 12 steps. And basically, we all are good at one step, but we all are learning 11 others. And not only that, we all want to live in a certain step that gives us the most power. And that's what I'm going to reveal today. My new step astrology and this what I call high definition human development. HDHD. Maybe I have ADDHD. I don't know what the hell it is. So the Geminis, where are the Geminis? Well, it's a very important step. You're worried about step 0. I protect. You are concerned about step 0, the very invisible step before all the steps. Step 0 is to protect yourself from the world and the harshness of the world. And depending on where you protect yourself determines what your value is. If you protect yourself 100 meters across, then you are a rich landowner of consciousness. If you protect yourself very close to the chest, you don't have very much in your conscious territory. So, protection leads to value, and step 0 leads to what we're worth. So you're a natural born step 5. All you do is think about everything. And that's the 5th step. So when we want to create magic on earth, step 5 is think about it. Notice that you don't think about it until step 5. I always say that to my clients. You don't think about anything until step 5. You don't say anything until step 5 either. They say wait 3 months before you announce a baby. Astrology would say wait 5 months, before you announce anything. And, I'm talking to myself here. I know I need to shut up sometimes. So Geminis and Gemini risings are all about the step 5. And you are making decisions right now about where it is you want to draw particular lines to protect yourself, the step 0. And that is determining where you end up being valuable or not valuable, and whether or not you have money or don't have money. It's all about where you draw your personal boundaries with yourself. Some of these are very practical, but most of these are very magical. And so we're going to talk about boundaries and how they are quite magical actually here as we go through this presentation today called a Super Soul Horoscope. So the other area that's very important too is Geminis and Gemini risings are determining where they live now, like where their life is, where their world is. And that world is determined by what your heart wants. And see, you're being forced to go after specifically what your heart wants to determine your world, not to look for what your heart wants in your existing world, okay? Because your existing world is not what you think it is, I don't think. And that's because of the choices you made with where you protect yourself. And this is all what we're going to get into. So what does that mean, Chris? Well, what it means is this. It means that Geminis are upside down right now. They're not quite sure what they can trust and what they can't trust. As a result, they don't know who their friends are or don't know who their friends are, or they're just now figuring it out. And that's because their inner child wants to have what it wants now, and they have to champion their inner child. So what do they have to do? Protect themselves. So this week, Gems and Gem risings will be having a new state of protection. They will be redefining themselves, redefining what their limits are, redefining where they draw their circles. I say we don't draw lines with people, we draw circles around ourselves. So it's about drawing circles around yourself, and where are you drawing your circles? Where are you drawing your energetic spaces? All right? Let's talk about that. And let's talk about what this week is. This week is all about, well, first it's career. So Sunday, Monday is career. Emotions are based on career. Career is also future. What is my future? Where will I go? What will I do? That's a big emotional upset on Sunday and Monday. At the same time, you're breaking down and breaking through what your limits are and where your circles are, where you draw your circles. And then, of course, Tuesday and Wednesday, the moon moves into Aries, and so it becomes very social. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday, it's very teeter-totter and sensitive about personal dreams and love affairs versus where will I end up. So that drama between personal dreams and love affairs and where you end up in society or who your friends really are, this is where, I want the rain back, this is where you find that the decision comes is in this searching with the moon in Aries, this searching of where do I belong in society. This is where the decision comes. And remember, although it feels like a decision of the heart and personal dreams, it's actually a decision of where you draw your circles with yourself, okay? And we're talking about the decision, oops, wrong button, decision here. right there. All right, so then you make that decision on Wednesday, you're clear on it, and then the moon moves into Taurus, which will now move into the subconscious. So now you're moving into and changing karma basically, and shifting karma basically as you're taking action. So as you take action, karma changes. Then on Friday you want to love and trust that what you've done is correct and what you always knew. What you always knew is basically what your heart knew all along. That's why I spell it that way, but it's also something new. So it's likely that something new in your life will be what your heart wanted always all along, and that is the point there. And then we move into the moon in Gemini, so it's sunny and cool on Saturday, and we move into Master Shui. So in the background, these are all decisions to draw circles around yourself and to draw new circles around yourself. When you draw different circles around yourself, you reach into a different set of unity. We'll talk about that later, and that unity is what causes a radical shift in priorities. So this radical shift in priorities, I think, happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for Geminis and Gemini risings as a result of drawing different circles around different important things in your life. Now let's take a look at consciousness for a second. Consciousness, I believe, is a stairway to heaven. We're like dropped off as young souls on the planet that know nothing, and we have to become aware again and find our way back to God. And what we do is we build on top of our knowledge and our awareness and our experience over and over every lifetime, and we come back and we build. In this life, we are all 12 states of awareness. We are all 12. But when you're a Gemini, you're focused on step 5. Look at step 5. It's I think. So when we get to I think, we've already protected, loved, felt, believed, and belonged before we think about it. Think about that. That is the state of manifestation right here. And what I teach all my clients is to actually never focus on any other step besides I love. That you want to basically focus on the 0 and the 1. That you want to put a 0 around your 1, right? And that 0, 1 and the 0 is basically the same symbol as astrology, is the same symbol as the sun, is the same symbol and concept of life. That reality is simply a 1 and a 0. Or reality is simply love with protection around it. So even though you want to think about it, you want to live in I protect and love. I protect and love is where you live. You can think about anything. You can go all the way up the stairs and be step 11. But remember, the foundation, the root of consciousness is this love and protection and the stairway to heaven. The stairway to heaven is single file. We meet our friends and family on the other side. That's what my sensei taught me, and it certainly is true. So we're going to now move to step 5, Gemini. Now to a new concept that I'm using to reorganize the horoscopes according to world peace. I want to bring world peace on the planet. That's my personal mantra. I want to help the world come to peace. I like to sleep at night, but I never sleep at night, and that's because the world is so at unrest. So my selfish thing is world peace, and I believe that there's one simple principle or 4 principles that will bring us to world peace, and this is what it is. Basically, it's called PLUR. We're now powered by PLUR: peace, love, unity, and respect. Now, this is going around with the kids right now in the raves and in all of the party scene, but nonetheless of where it is born and whatever one person's judgment is of that scene, this is what came out of it, something very beautiful, which is PLUR. Now, the idea here is, I think if you live in peace and love and in unity and in respect, you will be at peace, the world will be at peace, and so on. And we will kind of like release peace like a happy virus, right? So the first step is obviously, oops, where am I? Oops, that's my first slide. Peace, sorry about that. So to have peace, you have to find your inner peace in order to find outer peace. In other words, if your world's not peaceful, it's because you're not at innerverse peace. So for the Geminis and Gemini risings, this comes down to that beautiful, see that purple, blue sphere there, the round circling the peace? This is my constant reminder of step 0. 0 is my hero, because 0 gives me the peace I seek, because when I know my limits and I tell the universe these are my boundaries, all you have to do is think about your limits, because when you think about your limits, you will keep yourself from going there. You will. Your soul will remind you, alarms will go off, and you will know. So your innerverse must be peaceful, and to do that, Geminis must be very clear on what their limits are, and also be very willing to open your limits, to expand your bubble, or to close it. It's not just holding tight on a particular one, it's not being afraid of moving them and not being afraid of using boundaries to protect what you love, right? So inner-verse comes that way. Another inner-verse thing I think is really with the whole Capricorn issue, deals with, taking better care of thyself and nurturing yourself. So the more you nurture yourself, the better. And so I think if Geminis and Gemini risings are nice to themselves, their minds will calm down and they'll also find some inner-verse peace. If you do that, I think career is going to work out, because remember, Pisces energy is how you move forward with your career. And so when you're at inner-verse peace, then you will connect to Pisces career, God service provider kind of sort of thing. So the more inner-verse peace you are, the more your career work out when you're a Gemini or a Gemini rising. Now let's go to my favorite topic, love. Love is very important. You can't get to love until you have first peace. So first we set the peace, then we set the love, right? And this love is an inner-verse love, right? So we want to ultimately fill our inner-verse with love, which we can't do unless it's already at peace. So we want to fill it with love, and we can do that by loving ourselves. And right now, like I said in the open of the scope, Geminis and Gemini risings are trying to amp the love. They want their love stories to take off. They want their personal dreams to take off. So you have to be at peace, and then you have to fill your heart with love for you to do that. Now the outer verse is, who should I be in the world? The inner verse is, I love myself. The outer verse is, well, how does that make me in the world? So when you love yourself in the inner verse, and you put into the inner verse of love, then where you belong will be very clear, because it's a match. Inner verse and outer verse, law of attraction. Also, you won't find the love of your life unless you're loving yourself like the love of your life, like you would love the love of your life. So the universe will draw in through the outer verse just that, all right? I can't say it enough. Unity. Unity is really about recognizing the union of yourself, uniting the states of awareness. That's what I call it. My USA, my United States of Awareness inside of me. I have 12 states of awareness, 12 steps of consciousness. All of them are united. I am the staircase. I am not just one step. Okay? That's unity. I am the staircase. But in some cases, we skip steps. So therefore, we don't have unity. Right? So unity is not skipping steps, being aware of each of those 12 steps, that we are a unity of all 12. That is our inner verse. And when we have an inner verse that is all of unity, then our outer verse presents people of also equal unity. In fact, if you are skipping a step, then you will attract in someone who is skipping that step or the opposite step. We'll talk about opposite steps another day, but at least you know what unity is. Are you in unity? Then things that come outside of you will be in unity. Now, where can Geminis and Gemini risings lose unity? I think it's actually from the next step, which is respect. Geminis fail to respect themselves. Respecting yourself means that you honor your boundaries. See all these floating bubbles? These are boundaries. What are boundaries? Boundaries are an invisible line in your head. If your parents say, get back by 10 o'clock, that is a boundary. And then once you have a boundary, you have to respect the boundary yourself. You have to say to yourself, you have to say, this is important to me, and so I'm going to not cross this circle. It's never a line, it's always a circle. It always comes back on you, trust me. So respect is, if you respect your own boundaries with yourself, that you told yourself you'd be in bed, or you told yourself that you wouldn't talk to him, or you told yourself that you wouldn't allow yourself to go there, then you have to stand up for that inside of yourself. When you do that, people will probably resist at first. That's usually what I find. The first time you stand up for your inner verse, someone else goes, meh. They challenge you on it right away. Now that, I think, is the momentum. The train was going this way, this fast, and so you all of a sudden pull on the brake. Well, don't be surprised that all the passengers and everyone complain, and everyone is not happy with it. The train went a different direction. So Geminis tend to be real, they like, because their mind goes back and forth, they tend to flip the switch a lot. And so, people on their trains can get a little freaked out. I have some friends who drive, Geminis can drive. I haven't been in an accident with a Gemini, but I have worried about it. And my son's a Gemini, so I'm starting to wonder about that too. So respect your own boundaries, and people will respect yours. If you respect yours, people will respect yours. Partly that's because you are consciously watching it. All right, so back to the beginning: peace, love, unity, respect. See if you can live in that harmony this week, and tell me if you have any issues. Now, I do want to point out some things at soulmart.me that will help you maintain your PLUR through the entire week. One of them is this, the Megascope. The Megascope gives you a full month and a day-by-day play-by-play. Notice I don't do like every day of the week and get super deep. I just kind of brush over it. That's because the Megascope is going to do that for you. If you want to get deep and personal with me, if you buy a 1 hour right now, you'll get 15 minutes free, good all year long with this cool software that I bought. And lastly, my happiest announcement, we are launching GA Venus. And GA Venus is a guardian agency or guardian over single ladies and women. And this is us taking all the resources of what was Soul Garden. Remember Soul Garden? We're going to put this all into GA Venus, where we're helping women and helping girls. And you can get a free week when we launch, which will be January 18th, Soul Garden's 8th birthday. So I have a team of really amazing people on camera to help you with your voice, to help you with angel reading, to help you with fitness, to help you with diet, all these things. I feel like it's time to focus on the ladies. And if you know, I launched or announced the creation of our nonprofit, which is the Church of the Heart, also for ladies. So my theory and secret to world peace is knowing the nature of human beings. You can help the men and maybe the women will be helped, but you can help the women and the men will be helped. So I think it's pretty simple. Help the women. And that's my New Year's Eve mantra. I hope you have a fabulous 7 days. I intend to be back in 7 more. Until then, live in your heart and practice the PLUR and live, love, be.